What's up, guys? Shrubgator from shrubgator.com here, and today I'm gonna be showing you guys a couple different things. This right here is the controller for this property that we got a call from. They called to report about a break, and so when we come over here, we go through and we do a full inspection on the clock. So we run every single zone one after the other. That way we can just get a full report of anything that needs to be done there, any breaks that we might find, or just anything that needs, any work that needs to be done there. We just make a report about it, and then that way we're able to give a proper quote to our customer. And so this right here, I'm just setting up my remote right here. This is a universal Rainmaster remote. I don't know the exact model of this one, but these things, they're really helpful if you do inspections on controllers a lot, or you test programs, and you need to run a lot of stations sequentially or just by the zone. These things come in handy. If you just do small residential irrigation jobs, or if you're like a homeowner and you're just working on your own sprinklers, you really won't need this, especially because it could be a little bit pricey. This thing is like, it's like around $1,000 for this thing right here. But for if you're doing professional jobs, commercial jobs, or the higher zone number controllers, then it's extremely helpful. How I do it is I just go one by one, and then I could turn it on, turn it off. If I need to stop to repair something, I could turn it right off to just start repairing. So I go through and I visually look at every single sprinkler, and I make sure it's spraying properly. This one I noticed that it was spitting right here by the head. And so when I first seen that, a lot of times when you see it and it looks like it's spitting like that, a lot of times it's because that the head is loose. But in this one, that wasn't the case. I tried tightening the head, and the head wouldn't tighten anymore. And I thought it was because, okay, maybe there's some dirt, so I applied a little bit more pressure, and that happened. So basically, something down below looks busted, and let's go ahead and dig this out. See what we got here. Digging time, baby. It's digging time. All right, my transit's a mess right now. I know, still working on getting racks and stuff. It's a new transit. We still got to set everything up on it. And here we are, right to it, straight up to the digging. I wanted to give you guys a really good view of what goes on and what we do here. So as you can see, I pulled that sprinkler out, and I'm taking a look around it, and I look below, and I don't see anything connected to it. And if it was something was threaded into it and it snapped, you would have seen threads on the inside. So I'm like, okay, what's going on here? My first idea is, okay, it must have somehow the Marlex must have broke, so maybe the threads broke from the Marlex. That was my, what I was thinking. My pump was all clogged full of dirt, so I grabbed this coffee cup instead, to take out this water. It's really nice to have a pump, but those things, they do get clogged often. You need to make sure you keep them clean, but a cup will work fine too. As you can see right here, I take out the water no problem with just a cup. Just a little bit more time consuming. This is pretty much where, I found the swing joint. So that's why this area got a little bit more difficult to dig in, and I was trying to be really careful with my shovel, because when you're digging up sprinklers, it's really easy to accidentally break something, especially, something like this, like a riser or Marlex. I like to give myself a lot of room to work in, and I like to dig out a little bit below it too. That way, when I'm ready to reset the sprinkler back into the ground, I'll have enough space to do all that. So I'm looking at this Marlex right here, and the first thing that I notice is that, it's not broken. So I was like, what the fuck? And then I realized, what? When I looked at the threads, it looks like they barely put it on there. So whoever put this sprinkler right here, I don't know, how long it's been spitting like that or what. I'm surprised it hasn't broken off sooner, but I don't think this was an original sprinkler right here. I think somebody must have replaced this, but when they did, they just didn't put it on right. They didn't thread it in far enough, and so that's why when I started turning it with my channel locks, it just snapped right off. But Marlexes break all the time because they're just made out of plastic, so I decided to take it off anyway. I don't want to, have any more trouble with this area, so I'm just gonna go ahead and replace that Marlex anyway, and put a brand new sprinkler there too, just so there's no trouble. This right here is called a swing joint, by the way. The sprinkler is connected to the swing joint, and that helps you to position the sprinkler, and it also helps to, if the mowers or something are hitting the grass, like if it puts pressure, if there's pressure that's put on the ground, and if there's pressure that's put on the sprinkler, like someone steps on it or something, it won't, or a tire runs it over, it'll that swing joint will give it flexibility. That's what I'm trying to say. It'll make it a little bit more flexible, so it won't snap as easy, as opposed to if the sprinkler was just connected right to the lateral or just to just to a lateral line. It's more likely to it's not as flexible. If something was to go over it, someone stepped on it or something, it's more likely to break. So I got my new Marlex on here. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten that. Right now is also a good time to tighten any other fittings that might be on the swing joint. So that riser, I'm tightening the riser too, and tightening all the other Marlexes that are right here. It's just a good time to do that. This is my new sprinkler. This is just a Rainbird 1806 right here. I like to call this the guts. This right here is the sprinkler guts. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the body of the sprinkler and I'm gonna put the body on the swing joint first. That way I could flush out the line. So during this point while I was digging, if any dirt got inside the Marlex or got inside the line at all right now, when I flush the station, it'll take all that dirt, all those rocks, anything that might have got in there, it'll flush it right out, as you'll see right now. And that's just a little gasket for the sprinkler head. All right, so as you can see, you just turn on the zone, but then you just turn it right off. You give it a chance to just get out any dirt or rocks that may have gotten in the line. I forgot to put the little gasket back on when I put the top of the sprinkler on, but it never really is I don't think those things really make a big deal. Whenever I've done this plenty of times where I don't put them on and it doesn't leak. So yeah, as long as you just put it on tight, I think it'll be good. I never have any problems with it. I don't know. I know there's a lot of, once you start posting these videos, there'll be a lot of comments about, oh, you're not doing this right, or oh, you need to put that on every time, blah, blah, blah. I've never had any problems with that, so whatever. And then when I was walking back to my transit, I noticed this right here. So the zone for those sprinklers were shut off and was basically canceled, but all these sprinklers right here should have been capped off. So I brought a cap with me, because you could see when you don't cap it, you just end up getting dirt in your line. So I just try to clean around the area a little bit so I can expose some threads, because that dirt was right up to the brink of the sprinkler. I couldn't see any threading, and then I just put my little cap on it. There's Rainbird caps right here. Easy way to just close off the line. It didn't want to thread at first, but then I got it. This is my little nozzle bucket. Keep all my nozzles in there. These orange caps right here, they just keep like dirt from getting inside the sprinkler when they're sitting in storage and whatnot. But all you got to do is thread them off. It's just a simple thread, righty tighty, lefty loosey. You get the nozzle that you need for the area. How you know which nozzle you need is there's different colors of nozzles. You got your red nozzle, which is the 5, like it stands for like 5 feet. You got your green nozzle, which is 8 feet. You got your blue nozzle, which is 10 feet. Your brown nozzle, like this one, which is 12 feet. And you either have your quarter, so you have like a 12 footer. This right here is a quarter, and so it's just a quarter of a circle that it'll spray. Or you could do your halves. They also have fulls too. And then if you want to get a really technical, you get a van nozzle, and those are fully a variable adjustable nozzle, which is the van nozzles, and those ones you can adjust them to whatever radius or circumference that you want. So I'm just sliding the dirt back in right here. Probably should have taken out that water, but I mean, whatever, it's all right. Once I put this dirt in there, it's just gonna kind of clay up anyway, and then it's all gonna dry and like harden. So it'll become, the thing about putting the dirt in there too, while there's still water in there, is the water will soften the dirt and it'll really compact really well under the sprinkler. And so that's how you replace a sprinkler on Morlex. Easy. Now let's test our work. Make sure it's good. And everything looks good with the sprinkler, so I'm just gonna go ahead and clean up my stuff. Gotta make sure you clean your great sword. Clean this shovel. I like to, when I turn on these sprinklers, I'll just run my shovel through it to kind of clean it off. It keeps the transit more clean too. It may look like chaos and a mess, but it's an organized chaos in my mind. In my mind, I know where everything's at, how everything is. But I really do gotta get some racks and stuff. It's really good to carry a broom like this. You know, just clean up the area after, really easy. Once everything dries up and, you know, this is all clean, you know, you'll never even know I was here. That sprinkler is still flimsy because it's just in water and in mud right now, but that'll dry. And then the sprinkler it'll be set in there. Alright guys, thank you for watching this video. If you like what you saw and you want to see more videos like this, you want to see more irrigation repairs, please like and subscribe.